live with the decision whether win or lose. Something everybody face on a day-to-day basis, no matter the religion, creed, color, or race.
Choices, they're up to you. Nobody can decide what you say or do. You see, life is fragile, so handle with care. Proceed with caution, it's a jungle out there where I've seen all you've seen and done all you've done. I know where you've been and where you're coming from,
but all my friends do it.
That might be true, but if your friend jumped in the lake, would you jump too? You see, you're too old to play, follow the leader. Monkey see, monkey do, and your game either. You be the man behind the voice. Make up your own mind, cause it's multiple choice. They threaten, persuade, and even beg.
It's like the last one in is a rotten egg.
They may call you a sissy or even a nerd. But tell me now, people, has it ever occurred by standing up for yourself, you'll be ahead of them?
I've seen Dion for a long time. Missing up this party.
Ah, there's Dion right now, man.
Hey, Dion, get your ass over here, man.
Hey, man, what's up? Let's see. Yeah, to made the team, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, let's celebrate this. Big NFL, bro. NFL. Position play.
Wide receiver.
Catch this.
Get out of here with that stuff.
Oh, man.
I give it up.
Man, what's wrong, man? What is wrong, man?
I'm telling you, man, I give it up.
Man,
You know what you're talking
you
about.
score at the game tonight, man?
Yeah, I might score.
If you don't, man, I got something for you, man. Dion. Oh, man.
You may not want to score now.
See that blonde score?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
For a class, man.
What's your name, man? You take a little bit. Just give him off the top for your own personal.
Take care of that, man.
Rest yourself, and I'll give it to you. A small percentage of the profit, sir.
Read my lips, man. No, I give the stuff up, all right?
No, he doesn't want a small percentage of the profit.
Man, you don't want some of that? That is good. That's the best stuff in town.
Man, I passed, man. I said I'd give it up, all right?
Oh, you're blowing up, man. You gotta smoke.
You know what, Dion? I wouldn't join no football team for nothing, man.
Well, maybe you should, man. You know what I mean? Get off that, you know? Smoke.
They make you wear those tight pants, make your ass look like an avocado, man.
I know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, then they make you do exercise all day. This is good exercise for me. That's right, man. Shit. Come on, man. I know you, man. Take a drag.
Man, get that stuff out of my face, man.
Hey, right now, man.
Hey, keep it cool, Ruben, man. Let him do what he wants to do, man.
Man, you think you're bad? Why don't you go out on the football field and prove something out there, you know?
You know what? I don't have to join no football team to kick ass, man. I can kick ass right now, right here. You want to go for it or what?
Talking about, man.
Yeah, Ruben, you can kick ass, man.
Who wants to go for it, man?
Let him be, man. Hey, just shine, Dion. Hi, man.
Yeah, all you guys are high, man.
Yeah, man. You're the one who's high, man. Yeah, I'll see you later. See you later. What are you doing taking up for, man?
Hey, shine him, what he wants to do. Shine him.
Spark another one, man. Catch this.
More for us. Doing the
Because I used to see my friends, you know, like smoking and trip out, and I kind of wanted to know how that feeling was, you know. So I tried it, and I liked it.
When you got a buzz, you know, you don't want nobody to mess with you. You know, you don't want nobody to tell you what to do. And then my mom was telling me, or the people around me, and then I was just shoving them off, getting mad, and then it just caused fights, and then I take off, you know, and then I get more buzzed, and then it seems like, you know, it takes my problems away, and it does when you got a buzz. But they're always there the next morning.
I wanted something more than that. I wanted something better. You know, I've seen my mom cry out of sorrow so many times that if for me, her first boy turned into some drug addict or even something worse than that, or maybe even dead, you know, it's only gonna bring even more sorrow to her. And I just wanted her to be happy, to always smile rather than cry.
In the morning, and that would be the first thing I'd do is call my friends and ask them, you know, where the party is, and that's what I'd be thinking about all day. I wouldn't think about school, I wouldn't think about, you know, being with the family or anything like that, cleaning the house, just laying down, kicking back, thinking about going out and partying that night.
Anybody's gonna sell you anything. They don't care if they sell you some kind of, let's say like some kind of brake fluid or something like that that can really kill you. And they just say, you know, I'm gonna go get a buzz, so I'm gonna go buy something. And the dealer don't care what they're selling you. Like they say, they're always selling you anything they want just so they can make the profit over it or they can make the money. But they don't care what they're selling people as long as they make the money.
For marijuana, I went to coke after marijuana because my brothers got off from that, you know, and they had a lot of it. So I jumped to coke, then I started taking LSD and acid. I really got off on that because it made me, hallucinate. I hallucinated a lot when I was on LSD. Then I went to PCP, PCP I didn't like too much. I didn't like the taste of it too much, but I liked the buzz off of it.
I used to want to do everything, I used to want to go to school and take drugs, but I thought I'd keep on going at that same, at that same pace. But finally just like made me drop, made me want to get high instead of go and do the things I had my responsibilities, instead of doing what I had to do. It made me just like sort of just, take a downfall, man. I mean,
I would, go out like to a concert or something, and there was like, everywhere I turned, there was drugs there, being offered, and it was, I just got tempted. I couldn't say no because I wasn't strong enough to say no. I was still weak, and I just didn't want to say no because I didn't want to be, left out of the crowd, so I would say yes.
They'd come up to me and they'd, well, you want a joint, we'll go smoke it in the back parking lot. And I'm going, no. And I had friends last year who they did smoke. I'd go with them, but I wouldn't do the things they do. I mean, we'd go to the back parking lot, we'd sit and we'd talk, and they'd smoke. But never once did they ask me, do you want some? Because they knew better than to ask me. And you've got to get to that point where you've got to show people that you're going to say no and you're going to stand your grounds no matter what happens or what they say. You may lose a friend here, here and there, but it's better to lose a friend than to affect your life for the future.
I've got friends in prison, youth authority, and dead because of drugs. So I don't want to have any part of it no more.
Hey, if everybody else doing it, let me do it, Well, it's a free world out there, so if it's there, I'm gonna use it, So I tried it, I liked it. And then I moved up to other things. I was selling, there's drugs everywhere. You'll find connections anywhere you go. I was thinking about the money. I wasn't thinking about their lives. I was just thinking about how am I going to support my habit, And my habit was being supported by me selling this dope, even if they were small. If they had the money, they got the dope coming. I was a straight F student. Straight F. We was going to class, We was going to work on computers and stuff. And the counselor came in, and said he wanted to check up on my attendance. And he took me to the office, and as soon as we got there, I was kind of curious because I seen a cop car in the front, and they drew me in, and the cops were right off inside the counselor's office, and he went in, and an undercover cop was in there too. He said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "No, I don't remember you." He said, "Well, I'm the guy who you sold that half ounce to a couple of months ago." And that kind of startled me, startled me right then. I didn't know who he was and didn't know nothing. See, because when I was selling it, I didn't know what was what, So that's why I'm in here.
We see children that are primarily minority children. Probably about 67% of the children that end up in these institutions are minority children. As I mentioned, the majority of them are low-income children, children that have been raised in poverty. Many of them come from single-parent families. Usually the single parent is the mother that is raising the child, and on an average 2 or 3 other siblings. More than likely, it's a male offender between the ages of 15 and 16. Although we are starting to see an increase in the number of females coming into the institution and a very dangerous pattern of females becoming involved in more serious crime.
You know, they say, oh, you know, I don't want my kids hanging around with you because you're a druggie. You know, you use drugs, and that's how, you know, my aunt was towards her daughter to me. You know, she didn't want her around me because I was using heroin. And, you know, me and her daughter were close. And, you know, it just hurt me to know that she didn't want her around me, you know, because of what I was doing.
I know this one girl, she was 14 or 15, and they told her, they gave her some Ajax, and they told her it was China White, you know, that pure heroin that's real white. And she slammed it, and she died instantly. It just got into her blood system, and she died, and she was only 14 or 15. And because everyone around her was slamming, so she figured that's what the crowd's doing, I'll do it too.
One of them was my brother. He's 15 years old, and he had an overdose on PCP. And that was really sad to see him, you know, because I just felt really hurt because he was doing it with me, and I thought that me and him doing it, nothing would happen to him, you know. If I was with him, me and him were doing the same amount, same dose, you know. But it just happened, and it was really frightening.
Right after boxing match, you know, I got it. I was so happy that I, you know, won the match, and I just felt like, hey, let me try it. You know, I was just so happy. It was, to me, it was just for to congratulate myself, to try, you know, just to try, you know, see what it was, you know, and that was a big mistake.
Why don't you take off these handcuffs, man, you know?
I will. Don't worry about it. Any cigarettes? Lighter?
No, don't smoke, man.
Nothing? That joint?
We don't got nothing, man.
Okay. How's your health?
Very good.
Good?
I just regret now. I mean, it's like I should have stayed in the sport that I like. And it was hard because I was doing this, you know, I was on to shape and I was doing all this exercise and things, and I would run, you know, my friends, I would run at this park and my friends would be there, and they just like, they look at me and, you know, they look at me like, get down, you know, but after I would stop running and I would go join them, then there was that offer, you know, they offered me. And yet, they knew I didn't really want it, but yet they offered me. And then I wondered why.
I need you to sign this paper here. You understand your rights? Yeah, right here.
I started smoking marijuana, you know, marijuana at first. Then it led to, I started drinking. There was coke that came around. Then I just started getting into everything, PCP, you know, acid, LSD, acid, and the only thing I didn't do was touch my body, you know, chihuahua, carga, what you want to call that. I didn't touch my body, which made me feel proud, you know, but yet not so proud because I was still doing these other drugs.
There's clothes, there's shit. Put everything on.
It was just my fault, you could say, for me accepting it and then taking it. Because that took my feelings away from whatever, you know, it was that I like to do. Took my ego, you know. I wanted to do something that just completely just took my mind off it, man. It just, my spirit for the sport just, you know, just faded away. Like, I really wanted to box. That's something I really like to do, you know. I was boxing for about 3 years and I was getting pretty good at it, so, you know,
I just just went down, downhill.
I kind of got caught up in into some drugs. But I broke away from that because that's not what I wanted to do in life. I didn't want to mess my body up in any way, let alone my mind. But there's times where you feel that you're not going to make it, that, there's nothing there for you anymore. Back in '81, when I had broken my hand, I had surgery done. After surgery, I went and seen about 3 or 4 doctors, and they all gave me the same excuse that I'll probably never fight again. I probably won't even be able to write with my right hand anymore because of the arthritis from surgery. Well, that kind of put me in a down point. I felt like saying, wow, they took my dreams of being a world champion, a gold medalist. They took my dream of becoming an architect, which I wanted to become. So I felt that everything was washed away. And I was thinking suicidal. I started playing Russian roulette, and I kind of had a slight accident on the Russian roulette, which I am glad. And I do believe that, God was there for me. When the bullet hit the wall, and when I was playing and it, I fired at the wall, I kind of said, wow, I could have killed myself. People that think suicide are not really trying to commit suicide. They just need someone to help them because they're down. And that's the kind of states that I was going through. I also was just caught up in a lot of things, a lot of very different things. And as soon as I snapped out of it, I said, hey, I can still use my right hand, and I'm gonna go for what I believe in. And if, like I said, I'm gonna do it or die doing it. The only difference that it was gonna make was that I'll end up dying. But I was gonna go there and do it. And the way I felt was, hey, everyone said that I couldn't do it. The doctors told me I'll never fight again. I proved them wrong, and I proved the world wrong when I won the gold medal.
And what we find with children, we find with youth, is that when they first start taking the drug, they're using that drug to alter their state of consciousness, alter the way they're feeling in one of those ways. They either want to get more excited and more motivated, more creative, get more energetic about the world, or they want to shut out the world. They have too much pain, too much sorrow in themselves, and too much low self-esteem, so they want to shut out the world. Or they take drugs that totally change the world for them, gives them a different look at their surroundings. The interesting thing is, all of us, these children who abuse drugs as well as people who don't abuse drugs, we all can feel the way drugs make you feel without ever having to take a drug. We have to be able to respond with extra energy whenever our body calls for extra energy. When you have fear, when you're afraid of certain situations, or you're in top athletic performance, those are all manipulated by the same energy chemical that cocaine works through. Every thought we have, every action that the brain controls is part electrical and part hormonal. Chemicals, these drugs, are mistaken as some of the natural hormones we already have in our brain to begin with, or they disrupt, they distort, or they change a natural brain process. Drugs are unnatural. They're not part of your body, so as they continue to take the drug begins to affect their brain cells, the drugs begin to affect their liver, their kidney, their heart, their reproductive organs, their skeletal muscles, all different parts of their body in such a negative way that addiction could occur. Somebody becomes compulsive. Without the drug, he can't function anymore. PCP, by no question in my mind, and I work with 20,000 drug addicts now in my life, no question that PCP is the most dangerous drug.
It was just a couple of hours ago that a young woman, the mother of an 18-month-old child, was found bleeding to death here from multiple stab wounds. When the officers arrived, they asked Mary, "Who did this to you?" "It was Paul, my husband," she said. "He's freaked out, he's gone berserk." The officers took their positions, one at the rear of the house and one in the front of the house. They observed Paul trying to come out one of the bedroom windows. When Paul saw them, he went back in and then he threw himself out another bedroom window. It was at this point that one of the officers attempted to grab onto Paul. He had so much blood on him and he was so slippery that he managed to climb right over the officer and ran right to this car. How did Mary withstand all the pain and still walk to her neighbors for help? Well, Mary was under the influence of PCP. PCP, a drug once used as an animal tranquilizer and now a very popular street drug. PCP is found in crystal, powder, and liquid form called juice. PCP also goes by many other names. Nuzambi, Goon, Trank, which is short for tranquilizers. In the Hispanic community, it is known as polvo de ángel, which is angel dust. 30 minutes after taking the drug, Mary noticed Paul looking at these objects and chanting out loud. Then he walked into the kitchen and she and the child followed. And it is here that he was staring at this butcher knife. Mary instinctively noticed and realized that her husband was completely out of control. Extremely frightened, Mary picked up her child and ran to this bathroom. Then out of this bathroom into this bedroom where Paul cornered her and stabbed her repeatedly. Mary tried to defend herself by grabbing the knife away and in doing so cut her hands badly. While trying to save her own life, Mary was also trying to protect her baby in her arms. At one point, she felt the knife embedded deeply in her chest, and when she tried to pull it out, Paul pushed it in deeper, twisting it as though to cut out a chunk of her flesh. Mary managed to crawl away, only to be caught again, and here Paul began sucking and biting on her wound as though he were a raving animal. Paul's violent behavior and hallucinations, also the effects of PCP. PCP turns normal behavior into psychotic ones. PCP literally disconnects the senses from the brain. We know that Paul had a 10-gram habit. However, we also know that only one cigarette laced with PCP can cause a similar behavior. Like Mary said, Paul went berserk, but not before. It almost took 3 lives, destroyed a family, and all because of the use of PCP.
It may be the biggest epidemic that we have, but it's going unnoticed because a lot of people don't say they're taking it. People who smoke the KJs, who smoke the crystal joints and smoke these Sherman PCP cigarettes feel like their mind is sort of a dreamlike floating sensation, and then you have hallucinations. You have things that occur in your mind that's not really present in your environment. What they don't realize in the real problem with PCP is the drug induces a tremendous amount of amnesia. You don't remember what you did and what you were involved with when you're under the influence of drugs. Because it blocks out that your sensations of pain, your sensations of feeling, because it gives you amnesia and at the same time causes belligerent behavior, people under the influence of PCP become very strong, they become very powerful, the police can't handle them, and they do superhuman feats under the influence of that drug. PCP does cause addiction. You do become physically addicted to that. It does alter your brain chemistry and your brain hormones. Some people think in a permanent way. We still have to study that out to make sure. We're not sure if it permanently damages or not. But the problem with PCP is that you can overdose. You can have a toxic effect. People can not only are they combative and belligerent and commit a lot of terrible acts under the influence of PCP, but they can go into convulsions. They can go into catatonia, where their muscles are all frozen, and they actually kill muscles that way and stop up their kidneys. Their body temperature can go up so high that they can actually boil their blood and coagulate, and we've had death that way. People can go into a coma where they stop breathing. People can have spasms of their larynx is part of their tissue in their mouth right there. There's a tremendous amount of toxic reactions of body, heart, and lung, and all kinds of reactions that PCP can do.
Kids are influenced by their parents, culture, TV, peers, that it's okay. Society.
My dad, my real dad, he was, people called him an alcoholic, but to me he wasn't. But really he was. You know. To me he was my dad and no alcoholic, but he had a real bad drinking problem. And he used to go out on weekends and blow the checks and stuff and leave us there, you know, when no food or nothing, you know. And we had to wait until he comes back to get the money. And most of it's already blew or someone ripped it off when he was at bars and stuff.
My dad, he used to drink. He used to drink vodka and stuff. I really never noticed it, you know, because he used to hide it from us. But, you know, after I grew up, that's why I used to watch him. He used to go back into his room, the half glass of orange juice come out that'd be full, you know. Like, you only tell, you know, he goes back there and pours vodka in there. Comes out, you know, he smells like it and everything, and it comes out. But he keeps saying, I don't do it, you know, you don't drink.
We see so many advertisements on TV that gives a subtle message that if you feel bad, a pill will cure you. If you want to be a movie star or a baseball star or a football star, a certain kind of beer will help your athletic prowess. If you want to be sophisticated and elegant, a glass of wine will do it. They even give you specific brands. They even have little old grandpas selling alcohol on TV, giving the message that it's a homey, family kind of thing to do. They get the message from their peers. They see their friends using drugs. Their friends are giving the message, if you don't do drugs, you can't be part of the crowd.
We go to a party, you know. It's going to be boring if there ain't no drugs. That ain't no party. That's a gathering.
Hey, man, we've been waiting for you, man. All right, brother. How's it going? All right, and you, buddy? Oh, so far, so good. How you doing, man? How's the party, man? It's going good. Good, all right.
The Surgeon General says smoking is bad for your health and could become a matter of life and breath.
But some people can't live without the flick of their bit.
Cause if they do, they might have a nicotine fit. And I've seen these parties, it's no joke, where the only thing to drink is rum and coke.
You know the chips are too salty and dry to munch. We just found out somebody spiked the punch.
Now the moral of the story, and I'm sure you agree, you're making choices for you, not choices for me.
Nothing, man. Last time I seen you were face down the gutter, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was some time ago, man.
Hey, man, here's your beer.
Oh, hey, you know what, man? I don't drink no more, man.
Oh, man, get a beer, man. Get a beer.
Yeah, don't try to wake up in the gutter again or what? No, for real, I don't drink no more.
Yeah, man, get a beer. Join the rest of the crowd and have beer breath, eh?
Yeah, I don't need that no more, man.
Oh, man.
Kathy, you guys stopped drinking. We sure did. Are you serious? What happened?
You stopped drinking too, Kathy?
Yeah.
The beer chugging queen of the barrio?
You're kidding me. I saw you put more guys underneath the table than anyone.
Hey, that's all long gone, man. Nothing happened. We just decided we don't need booze to have a good time no more. We have a good time without it.
You know, it's like this, you know, we went out, we have a good time, and you know, we do whatever.
Have a good time, man. Take a beer,
have a beer, man. No, man, you don't understand me. I don't need booze to have a good time.
What you going to party for?
To dance, have a good time. We don't have to be drinking. To have a good time, man.
Hey, man, you don't want to have a beer, man.
That's all right, man. Oh, man.
What did you come here for?
I came in here to party, man. What about you, man?
Well, party down, man. So let's have a beer, man. Party, man.
Go ahead, party down, dude. I don't need to drink, man. You know, we're here to have a good time. We don't need to be partying.
Oh, man, well, yeah, man. Take a beer, man.
Go ahead, do your thing. Just leave us be, man. Hey, man. We're going to do it. We're going to have a good time. Let's do some dancing.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, why don't you bring yourself a baby bottle next time? I don't know about those guys, man.
Don't let them get to you, Choco.
You know, it's like this. You know, this is the first time. It's not going to be the last time.
Yeah, but you know what, man? They're our friends Sooner or later they'll come around. Let's just go there.
You know what? I want to be here. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Nah, Choco, you said it yourself. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. So why give in? Let's just go out there and dance. Come on, Choco. Let's just go dance. Come on.
Okay. Come on, let's go dance.
Hey, make way.
Parties where just joints are going around and you don't know what you're smoking. And you could think it's weed and you could take a real big hit and it could be KJ, and KJ is strong, that's strong. One hit and you're gone. I mean, you could take 2 or 3 hits and you won't know what you're taking.
The guy that I fell in love with was into heavier things, like LSD, angel dust, you know, all that, KJ. You know, all that, and then I turned to him and I always look him down, you know, and then they go, oh baby, if you really love me, you would do it. You know, smoke some with me or take some lines and stuff. And then that puts you in a position, you know, of losing them or getting hooked.
Just don't go for it. Don't go for that, you know, pressure. That pressure is just, it's off to the side. I mean, if you really want what you want, just go for it, man. Go for it 100%. Don't let nothing take you off that.
It's either you're gonna mess up your life and come back here and live in juvenile halls or jails, or you're gonna stay out there and make something and be somebody. And that's all I really want is be somebody, you know. I want to be looked up to. I always thought drugs was it, you know, because everybody know you're using drugs, because everybody takes drugs. That ain't right. Not everybody takes drugs.
The message that I have and the message that I always give and the message that I keep to myself is a message of dreams. Without dreams, you go nowhere. And the only way these kids are going to get out of drugs is by knowing what they want. By being their own listeners, by being their own leaders, by knowing what they want in life, not what others want them to do. And the only thing I have to say is if you have a dream, live those dreams. Turn those dreams into reality. And the only way you do it is by believing in yourself, and only in yourself.
Big deal. So this is where you've been hiding, huh? I told you I was gonna come talk to you, come on. Anybody told you I was gonna come and check you out here?
Yeah.
This is what you do, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is kind of hard for me to do, but to say, you know, I came to apologize. Say I'm sorry. You know, I was tripping over there earlier. I was loaded here. You know how it is, man.
You apologizing? It's kind of funny.
I said I'm sorry, man. Yeah?
You're sorry? You mean it?
Sorry, man.
All right, man.
That's cool.
Why don't you hang out a little bit and lift me out?
Do what?
Use a workout.
We're here?
Why don't you do a little bench pressing, sit-ups or something?
Oh no, this is too much for me. A lot of weight, you know.
Take it off. Just take a few pounds off, you know. Gotta start at the bottom, work your way up, you know.
I don't know, I'm tired of important things to do, you know.
Can't be too important. Come on, give it a try. You might like it.
Oh, I'll see.
Come on, man.